In my opinion, fashion is a visual medium where you can express yourself to the world who you are by styling yourself with a statement. And today we are going to jump into styling, the unknown of styling you can call, or a masterclass about styling, because here we have a master who has a decade-long experience in styling celebrities, working with reputed fashion magazines. Now she's a fashion entrepreneur, a sustainable fashion entrepreneur. Here we have Holly Elgati. Hello, Holly.
Hi, thank you so much. What a nice intro.
I'm so glad to see you here in the studio setup.
Yeah, it's great. Thank you so much for inviting me on. I'm excited to get chatting about styling.
First, I would like to know about your journey as a stylist.
Yeah.
How did you become a stylist?
Well, for me, I've always loved fashion. I was always involved in the fashion events at school and stuff. So it was kind of, I guess, it made sense for me to go and study it. So I studied fashion design and textiles at Bath Spa University in the UK, and that's kind of where I thought I was going to be, in a design studio rather than the styling aspect. Because back when I started in 2010, styling wasn't as much of a thing as it is now. Do you know what I mean? There was a select few really high top stylists, and that was kind of it. So I went and did an internship at Alexander McQueen, which was amazing, and I absolutely loved it, and I learned a lot. And then I saw their stylist come in, and I just thought, wow, that looks actually like a really fun job, because she's come in and having all this creative chat with the designers and just putting these looks together. So then I thought, right, that's what I want to do. So I went and tried to find a job at a fashion magazine, and I found a great kind of underground fashion magazine called 1883 magazine, which I believe is still going in London. And yeah, I jumped on board as an intern and then made my way up to, I think it was fashion beauty editor. But it was quite lucky because they were a new magazine, like an underground magazine. I was given a lot more responsibilities than, say, I had gone to a bigger title. So I could just like kind of learn as I went. And that's how I found this love for styling. I just loved finding things from different designers and putting them together in my own way. And yeah, I guess that's how I kind of started.
So when you talk about all this, in my speaking journey, I meet a lot of students on a daily basis. Like there are interns and there are students reaching out to me. They all fancy this job called stylist because they all think it's fun, just like you said.
Yeah.
But I want to know the hindsight of it. Is it as fun as it sounds, or are there hardships? If so, what are the hardships?
Yeah, it is definitely hard work. I stylists work very, very hard. It's not what it looks like you see, which is exactly what I thought when I saw the stylist come in. What goes behind it is there's a lot of like prep. If before a photo shoot or before you style someone, there's an awful lot of prep, sometimes like 2-3 weeks of full-on prep. And if you're trying to juggle multiple jobs or multiple shoots, you've got to have like the creatives correct in your mind for like each person or each shoot that you're doing. So you're juggling that as well as talking to the designers. Who are you going to call in from? What brands will loan to you? And when you start, obviously you've got to create a name for yourself in some way so that brands like know who you are, trust you, trust that you'll look after the clothes, return the clothes on time, and all these other aspects that go with it. But for me, it's the returning side of stuff. Now that's not glamorous. Like we used to sit with like bags and boxes of like different brands from London, PRs, and having to pack them up, label them, put them in suitcases and trek them around London. Do you know what I mean? Like at that side of stuff, it's really hard graft. Like it's a lot of like time on your feet, a lot of thinking. It's not all just shoot day.
Oh yeah, even shoot day, I guess is
that's hard
work, right?
Yeah, especially when you're dealing with, I don't know if you're working with, a fashion brand client or a celebrity client, or even if it's a magazine editorial, which you do have, I guess, more creative control with the magazine editorial because that's you're in charge of your styling. But yeah, there's all these different elements and people want different things out of it. And so yeah, you've got to kind of navigate all of that as well.
It's a lot of people management, inventory management,
time management,
hard work.
Yeah.
I guess
and building contacts as well, like there are so many different PR agencies in London, and I'm sure it's the same here, but you've got to nurture those relationships with the PRs, fashion side of things, so that they know you and want to loan to you and your clients, but you've also got to nurture the clients, the magazines and the editors and celebrities and their agents and stuff like that. So there's just a lot of networking that goes on as well. Yeah.
And styling as a job, though it is just one word, I think there are a lot of avenues that the styling job has. Like, for example, editorial styling or personal styling or styling for red carpets. Let's just deal with every avenue one after other, because I want to learn. I want to know what all this involves behind the scenes.
Yeah.
So how do you go about styling for a magazine, like an editorial shoot? Who gives the brief and how does
it work? So with the magazine editorials I used to do, I'd get contacted by a picture editor, usually from the magazine, or a photographer that wanted to collaborate. They would usually send me an idea of the brief. So whether this is the location, this is kind of the idea that we're working with. Then from that like initial brief, I create the entire styling brief for it. So research into like, I don't know, past histories, what's current trends, brands I like, just kind of how I want to see it go, be across casting if we're doing models. And so that's like the pre-prep stuff. Always run it by them before. So for me, it was always like I would do these beautiful mood boards. I spend a lot of time doing these beautiful mood boards, and I'd be like, this is exactly, so that nobody's confused on the day.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? I think you want to turn up with a rail that everyone is expecting. With editorials, you don't want to like say that you're doing one thing and change your mind, not tell everyone. And so I think just being on the same page is really key. But it's the time to get creative, editorials.
And I think the whole team aligning to one single vision.
Exactly. So that you bring your vision to it, the photographer brings their vision, making sure the picture editor get exactly what they want out of it as well. So it's kind of making sure, for me, it was just making sure everybody knew exactly what I was going to deliver through doing these pre-prep mood boards and then going around seeing collections and that kind of thing.
How about styling celebrities for red carpets?
That's the fun bit. That's the bit that I was channeling, and that's the bit that I loved, because I did like doing the magazine editorials, don't get me wrong, but like you say, styling has a title and there's all these different brackets that you can kind of niche down into.
Yep.
For me, it was very much working with people. I just loved working and collaborating with people and making them feel good. This was just my thing. So like working with different brands or clothes, and I could see when we're having fittings, whether that's before a shoot or before a red carpet or before like an album or whatever, and you try these clothes and you just see how people stand differently, how they like have this confidence. And for me, that gave me the kind of the energy to carry on. That's the bit that I loved about styling, was just how it changes how people feel. And I think that's quite downplayed. I think it's really important, and I think fashion has a lot to do with our self-confidence. That for me, that was the path that I really wanted to go down.
Also, I think when you style celebrities, what they wear has to match with their personalities.
Exactly.
Well, right?
So I'd have mood boards and Pinterest boards, and again, for me, that's very, very important that if you're working with a celebrity or working with talent, that you have these mood boards in place and you know exactly what you're going to deliver. Like maybe it could be as simple as, right, for this event, I want to do red and gold based on these inspirations or whatever it is. So that, again, they don't turn up to a fitting and be like, oh, this is a bit overwhelming. Like everybody knows the narrative. Everybody knows that event or that album campaign is going to look like this. And so then at the fitting, you can have fun and try and throw things in there that are a little bit more edgy or something that they might not have tried before, and then you kind of work like that. So pre-prep for me is like everything, just to make sure everyone's happy.
And what will be a team size when you're styling a celebrity for a red carpet? Why I'm asking this question is like before Met Gala or Cannes, you know, we see a lot of people running behind a celebrity and getting their clothes in place before they're being photographed, or them getting into a limo, or them climbing stairs.
Yes.
Right? What would be the size of the team that works around a celebrity when they get prepped for these events?
That's a good question. So there'd always be me, like for big carpet events, it'd be me and an assistant. So there'd be two on the styling team. There'd always be hair, probably two, maybe hair assistant, makeup assistant. Usually not. It depends on the how the makeup artist works, to be honest. But definitely hair and makeup. There'd be a few agents. And then that's kind of it. So I guess there's about 8 people,
Eight
in a
people.
room getting ready. But it's so fun. I love it. And like for me, the main thing was just the creasing of I can't bear if people go and then it's creased. So I know it sounds silly, but there is a lot of prep work to do to make sure that it is just absolutely perfect before you go on. And I think that's why you see these images of stylists running around like crazy afterwards, because they just want to get that picture that's right, that the train runs perfectly or the dress sits perfectly, because things move when people wear it. And it's all about getting the picture these days.
And I think the way celebrities look and how seriously they take these red carpets also has evolved in the past decade, no?
Yeah.
You have been in the field for 10 years. How do you think the fashion scene in public has evolved?
I think that as an actress, the actresses that I was working with, and music as well, like how you look and how you are in the fashion industry, what events you get sent to, and all this kind of things plays such a big role in almost the work that you get or how you're perceived in the industry. I feel like the two are completely interlinked, which is why having the right stylist is so important these days, because it can really elevate your career if it's done right, which is a great thing, like if the stylist knows someone at a big household name brand and they can get you into that look and then you get pictured, that kind of elevates your status. So it's interesting. So it's a strange little world, but it's interesting.
Very interesting.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
And how about styling for runways? Because there, I think garment is the hero.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, I haven't really done much runway. You'll probably know more actually about this, but I've done commercial. But with the runway that I do know, we used to do quite a few like beauty talks when I was at this magazine, and we interviewed a lot of makeup artists that did the looks for runways. And you're right, it's all about the look. It's all about what the creative director of that runway show wants the collection to look like. But I think with like hair and makeup, it just adds that element to it that hopefully like just elevates it to another level, like creatively. So, I mean, I've never done a runway actually, but that's kind of my experience background with it, working with makeup artists.
And what are the things that you keep track on? Like, what are the trends evolving in terms of hair and makeup, and what are the other things that you always have an eye on, like what is current?
Yeah, for me, like with the trend thing, I definitely look at it, and it definitely plays a role in what I think. But when I was styling my girls, I always just wanted them to look in their kind of style, but just very classic and timeless. So we weren't really like swayed too much by trends, if that makes sense. It was more about like the personality and bringing the personality out, and then what brands work with that personality, if that makes sense. So I wouldn't go and call in, I don't know, something from Miu Miu for somebody that liked something a little bit like more romantic, that might be the Alberta Ferrettis of the world and that kind of thing. So it's just creating these kind of brands that work around my clients' personalities. That makes sense.
Yeah.
So everyone had a different call-in list. Everyone had different mood boards, and that was just how it worked.
Okay, and now let's talk about styling normal, regular people of the world.
Yeah.
Because regular people also come to you for getting styled, right? Like either for a special occasion or for just a makeover, like just want to transform how they look.
Yeah.
How do you approach that?
It's really difficult because it's so linked to like, I feel like when you're a stylist, you also like kind of, not a therapist, but you kind of like, there's a lot of stuff that people don't like about their bodies. And I think it's just discovering what those are. I think when you ask somebody what they like to wear, they'd definitely be able to tell you the list of no's. Do you know what I mean? Before the list of yeses. So it's like, for me, it's like, hey, I don't go near pencil skirts, not really mini skirts. Like I know what I don't like. So that would be the first thing I address when I'm working with like somebody, is like, hey, so what don't you like? And then what do you like? So that's the bit that you build on, and that's the bit that then they're like, oh, okay, so I can wear this more or style this in this way, that kind of thing. I recently did one with Dubai Mum from Mother Tongue, which was so fun. And we spent 4 hours going through her entire wardrobe and just kind of eliminating the stuff that doesn't bring you joy anymore, or that you look at when you open your wardrobe and you think, it's a reason that it brings you down. Like, you should open your wardrobe and feel really, really good and like ready to start the day. So we got rid of a lot of stuff that wasn't working for her, especially because she's now a mother. So the practicalities of day-to-day life has changed a lot. And it was really great to see her like put stuff on that she hadn't worn in a long time or didn't think suited her in the wardrobe. So say it was like a pair of drawstring wide leg pants. And she's like, oh no. And then we put it with a tank top, and she was like, oh, no, this is great. So then she has this whole new capsule that she can wear instead of just wearing a jean or a short, introducing like this new style pant. Really like added such versatility to her wardrobe. So little things like this can just make day-to-day life so much easier for people and just give you that confidence that I think it just changes your day when you dress in a way that makes you feel good. And that doesn't mean you have to be the most fashionable person in the world or even that like interested in fashion. It's all about like being comfortable. And if you're comfortable in yourself and how you dress, and you just add that touch of, I don't know, gold to your earrings, or just add a little element that makes you feel good, I really think you'll have a better day, just generally. Do you know what I mean? Because you feel ready.
That's true. That's very true. And how to identify one's personal style? I see a lot of friends of mine, clients of mine, struggling in finding out what is their personal style. They think wearing same type of garment over and over again is the personal style, or what is personal style in your opinion?
It's really hard to get a hold on, right? But we're going back to like you know what you don't like. So let's focus on what you do, because everybody kind of has an in deep like knowledge of what they actually like. So finding your personal style, I guess, is building on that. I like to wear a lot of like jeans, high-waisted jeans, and tank tops, like puffy sleeve dresses, all this kind of thing. But it's like adding elements, so like adding like a belt to the jean that you like, having a certain type of shoe that you always wear, or these things that you can kind of like build on that identify your personal style. I don't think it has to necessarily always be wild, you know. It can be quite like simple, really. But for me, it's just like kind of a continuous thing. Like, I know girls, I go to meet them for a coffee and I kind of know in my mind what they're going to wear. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's that to me is like a personal style. Or you go into a shop and you're like, oh, my friend would totally wear that. That's the kind of like day to day, I think everybody kind of can get a grip on that kind of personal style. Like, it doesn't have to be trend-led necessarily. It can have elements of trends that you like in it, but only that suit what is you. So it's really like honing in on that, what is you. So that really does start with kind of addressing your wardrobe and seeing what you actually wear. And then you can build on that.
So what you actually wear kind of gives you, is the mood board for your personal style.
That's the start. That's the core of it. And then you can go and like add to it. I really love Pinterest for this. And I don't know if you use Pinterest. You love it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I love it.
All the time.
Yeah, it's like the best tool for personal style, because you can type into Pinterest, say I type in, high-waisted straight leg jean with a black tank.
Outfit.
It will come up with an array of outfit ideas. And if you look at them, they're all kind of similar. You know, a straight leg jean with a black belt and a one-shouldered tank, or puff sleeve top, but they're all very similar. So you can just like click and pin which ones work for you. And then you've got this beautiful mood board that you can just see on your phone when you're shopping or in the morning before you're getting ready. And you can just be like, oh, yeah, maybe I'll style it like that today, actually. Do you know what I mean? But it's all sort of within your inspiration and within your what works for you.
And when you style regular people, like normal, non-celebrity people, I come across a lot of them who are not very confident in the way they look. Sometimes I feel like they're so beautiful, but still they say they have their own flaws. They find tiny weeny flaws in their body, and then they say, oh no, you don't know, I have this here, my thighs are big, my leg is long, short, something or the other. What do you want to tell them?
I am totally with you on this, because I genuinely think everyone looks like amazing. Yeah. I genuinely think like all women look amazing. And I don't understand why we have such like negative thoughts about ourselves. I don't think it is necessarily related to fashion and what people wear. I think it's like this inner negative voice that you're constantly kind of beating yourself down with. And I wish we wouldn't, because to other people, like friends wouldn't talk to you that way. I've learned recently through doing like some mind work stuff that when you have these voices come into your head, like, oh, I can't possibly wear that, or like I have like the acne today, or whatever it is, just being like, no, that's not going to affect my day, actually. I can do X, Y, and Z, so I can put on some like nice vitamin C serum, say it's talking about acne, a little bit of BB cream, and I will feel a little bit better. It doesn't matter. You know, no one else notices it. And it is really true. Like, I always often think this about, you know, there's such pressure on women. Like, there really is. And it's always been that way. Clients of mine have always like say, oh, if I would just be a little bit slimmer, like in 6 months, I'll wear that in 6 months. Do you know what I mean? Or that's for like later, or I've gained this baby weight. So once I've finished the baby weight, then I can wear it. It's like, yeah, but that's not helping your mind. Like, what are you going to wear like now? Because you can't constantly be thinking, oh, well, in 6 months I'll look better. So for now, I'll just like kind of hide away and blend into the crowd. Like, I think it is a difficult one.
And also, I think it comes with a lot of conditioning, because there are certain beauty standards in this world which is considered as the beautiful thing by the world, and we try to fit into that framework. Yeah. But unfortunately, there is no such framework.
No.
Everyone is beautiful.
Exactly. And even if you ask the people that have that kind of like ideal beauty that we're sold, they have things that they don't like about themselves.
Exactly.
So there's nothing, it's never going to make you happy. I really do believe that. I think it all has to come from inside. And the way clothes can really help you with that, and styling can help you with that, is like I say, instead of just getting it down, just put an extra few kind of minutes into the morning of making yourself feel good. Like, this is what I'm trying to do with my brand and like helping mums, because I find like becoming a mother, that was a really difficult transition for me, because suddenly you're not only given less time with your day, but your body's changed, and there's things that like, you know, you can't wear anymore, or you think you can't wear anymore for a while, and all this kind of thing. But really, it's an amazing thing now that I think my body's done. And I just think if we can kind of take a look on it that's like, okay, well, my body's changed, but look what it's done. This is amazing. And in my pregnancy, I never felt more confident about my body, which is crazy, because I put on 3 stone. And I look back at pictures now and I think, whoa, you did put on like quite a bit of weight, didn't like in my mind. But then I'm like, but I was the happiest I've ever been. So doesn't that just prove the whole point? Do you know what I mean? Like, I was not what I would call beauty standards beautiful, but I was so happy inside because I just got this little bundle of joy that I've been waiting a long time for. So I think just trying to remember.
And as you said, for women, there are certain life stages where certain transformations happen in your body. Like after getting married and giving birth to a child, and then there is menopause, and then you're aging. There are hormones going up and down like waves.
Yes.
Which you can't stop.
No.
All you can do is accept what's happening to your body, because it's natural.
Yeah. The ebbs and flows of your cycle completely dictate how you feel about yourself. I really do believe. So I guess it's just leaning into those and not trying to pretend they don't exist and bat them away.
Combat and fight with it.
Exactly. So like, that is my advice, is if you're having like a down day, just accept it, but still try and put the effort in, because it does make you feel better.
And what's your take on following trends? Because I have seen the jeans becoming thinner, narrower, and then wider, thinner, wider, thinner. So what?
Isn't it funny? Because I was just thinking, I need to get a bit of more of a flared jean, actually, because the straight legs aren't quite in anymore. It's so funny. I think with stuff like that, again, it all depends on how it makes you feel, if it suits your figure. So some people, like a slim leg jean is just never gonna work. Like, I don't like wearing them, to be honest. I find them uncomfortable, to be brutally honest. Just wear the straight leg or whatever kick flare I like as well. But I think with trends, it's really hard, because it's like now with fast fashion, I think people think they have to have like the next thing and just buy an outfit for a night out and all this kind of like fast stuff. But actually, those are the pieces that sit in your wardrobe, don't get worn, and just like kind of gather dust. So I really think that when you're like thinking about trends, look at them. Are you going to wear it 30 times? This is my like test, the Leviva Firth test. Like, am I going to wear it 30 times? Yes or no? Like, that's kind of pinpoint for me. If yes, great, then I'll enjoy getting it. But like, I don't know, I've always stayed true to a kind of a simpler style myself, and not really cared that much. I know that sounds bad because I'm a stylist, but like, I think I also know makeup artists and stuff. I've got this really great makeup artist friend, and she always wears bold colours, floral colours, like always so much print and pattern. And that's just her, like red glasses, always like that. And she looks amazing, but she's not trend-led.
Yeah.
She's not like, oh, this minimalist trend is coming in and, you know, I'm such a bold, flowery, printed person and I should probably go down this monochromatic. Do you know what I mean? Look, so I think that's personal style. She, to me, has personal style and she has nothing to do with trends. So it's really interesting.
I would like you to explain about capsule wardrobe because in the field of sustainable fashion, we all advocate curating a capsule wardrobe.
Yeah.
How to curate one?
So again, you need to assess your wardrobe first, and because we only wear 20% of it, and this is the whole point of the capsule wardrobe, is to make that 20% 100%. So with the capsule, the first thing is, identifying what you actually wear. How can you piece those things together with other pieces? Making sure you have, 5 pairs of trousers that you wear really well, 5 tops that are casual, maybe like 5 that are more for going out, and then a couple of dresses and stuff like that. But I do think with the capsule, it relates a lot to your lifestyle. So really think about what you do every week. So like I wear a lot of activewear now that I'm a mum, especially because I drop off in activewear, I then might go to the gym. If I don't, what does that look like in my wardrobe? Is it taking up the right percentage of my wardrobe, or am I lacking? Is that why I feel like I don't have anything to wear? So like really understanding what you wear, and then you can build your capsule wardrobe. So for me, as a working mum, my capsule wardrobe very much consists of 20% activewear probably, and then about 45% casual day wear, jeans, different tops that I can wear with the jeans that are just simple, throw a shirt on top, that kind of thing. And then like the other 25% would be like nice dresses that I can wear when I'm feeling a bit more. So that would be for me. There's actually a really interesting kind of pie chart exercise that you can do to like visualize it, which is when you do a pie chart of your wardrobe as it is, divide it into the pie chart sections, like activewear, like swimwear, blah, 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 blah. And then you do what's realistic and then see if they match, because that's really interesting, because you might have like a ton of going out dresses. This is me. I never go out, but I've like kept them because I used to go out. So and then assessing okay, so how can I then make this now fit my lifestyle? And then I think you'll have a wardrobe that you actually wear. It's all about what you actually wear day to day, not what you think you're going to wear.
I am very curious to know, from being a stylist, how did this transformation of becoming a sustainable fashion entrepreneur happen?
It's very hard. Yeah, I'm really honest. I've always been interested in sustainability in the fashion industry, and I think it was 2015 I did a few campaigns with Peter, and I've always been interested in it. How do I transfer this onto styling world? Mm-hmm. It's really hard. Mm-hmm. It's almost an impossible task at the moment, but it is definitely getting better. I think all you can do is promote brands that are sustainable. So I would go to my clients and be like, oh, this is great, and it's by the sustainable brand that does XYZ. Bags, I used to love Denise Rebel. I don't know if you know, she does the vegan handbags, and just kind of adding bits in. I used to send them a lot of sustainable swimwear. Yes, you can't do it all the time, but what you can do is make sure that you understand sustainability in the fashion industry, and then make sure that you are trying to plug brands or promote brands that relate to your values as much as you can, which is hard, but you can. It's much easier now than it used to, especially with brands like Her Rotation and By Rotation in the UK, where you can get pre-loved fashion, which is fantastic for stylists because you can get your hands on all these amazing brands and style it in ways that you want. So I think it's just making sure you're aware of it, and then how can you tell your clients about it? How can you tell your Instagram followers about it and all this kind of stuff?
How did you come up with your own brand?
With Caribe, well, it very much stemmed from, I actually started it in lockdown in the UK, and it was an events brand at the beginning because I found a gap in the market in London to do kind of sustainable events wear, and it went with my celebrity styling. But then I got pregnant and COVID happened. I had my little babies and I was okay. And I spent about 2 years, kid you not, in leggings and just feeling generally not a stylist, the complete opposite from what my life used to be, because I had my kids back to back as well. And then we moved here and I thought, right, what can I do that merges everything I learned in London and sustainable fashion with my new role as a mum, and also just to make mums have something in their wardrobe to go to, match with your little one. You feel good because you don't get to feel great and done up all the time, you know, because you're running around. So that was kind of how I wanted to merge the two together. And then I decided to do the little options as well, like the baby clothes, and then we go up to like 5 at the minute. And that's kind of how it was born, really, out of my own like need to work, want to work, and how do I kind of combine everything I've learned in life so far into one thing.
Oh, how amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Holly. It's so lovely and wonderful to have you here.
You're welcome.
And all the best for everything you do.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. It's been great.